Job 20, verse 22. It reads, "In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him." All praises, all power, all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakaha, Kodash. Yahweh being the name of the Father, who the world even calls God. Yahweh, meaning he exists. Bahashem, meaning in the name. Yahushai, who the world even calls Jesus Christ. Yahushai, meaning he is salvation. Bahashem, in the name. Rakaha, Kodash, Spirit Holy. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone who teach one well who taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akyam, the fellow laborers, the hopeful elect, pushing this truth at risk of their own lives throughout the four corners of the earth. To the Akwathim listening and learning, sincerity and truth and in silence, Shalom. Akyam meaning brothers, Akwathim meaning sisters, Shalom meaning peace. Be unto you. It's your brother Shema from the James Toronto camp here in Toronto, here with another lesson. We'll get right into it. Job 20 and 22, and it reads, "In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits." Right, Babylon the Great, America the Great. Right, when she's in her in the apex of her glory. Right, her success, she shall be in straits. Straits being a position of difficulty. Right, and we're starting to see that with America the Great, Babylon the Great. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Right, you look at this word wicked in the Hebrew is Amal, I believe, or Amal, right, which means laborer. Amal, Strong's H6001 in the Hebrew. Laborer, sufferer, wretched one, laborer, workman, sufferer. Right? In the Strong's from H5998, toiling, concretely, a laborer, figuratively sorrowful, that laboreth, that is a misery, had taken wicked workmen. Right? This population, these people, these workers, these citizens of America the Great. You know, look at the little, you're seeing more and more companies, unions, strike. But the people,
man, make this make sense.
The people are mad.
Makes sense. You telling me that we ran out of money and we don't got no money for hurricane relief for our people, but we got all this money for Ukraine. We got all this money for Iraq. We got all this money for illegal immigrants coming across the border. We want to give them credit cards, health care, cell phones, but we don't got money for our own people, tax-paying citizens here in America who are suffering right now, tears in their eyes, devastated right now. We don't got money for them. We got to find it. It's going to be tough. I heard something about Kamala saying $700. That is absolutely unacceptable, and it's disgusting. We got money for all these other people. Don't tell me you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart. There's something sinister going on. There's something wicked going on. Because if y'all was really giving out money out of the kindness of your heart, you would do it for the people here in the hoods in Chicago, for all the cities that are broke down, for our veterans, for our homeless, for our schools that need help. We got schools that are horrible, in horrible shape here in America, but we sending all this money out, but we can't take care of home. Something ain't right. It's something funny with that money y'all sending out, and y'all got ulterior motives. I hope that people wake up. I hope that people see it, because quite frankly, it just makes me sick. It don't make no sense.
All right. So people, the citizens, the people, the laborers, they're mad, man. And it's valid, man. All this money, which these Babylonians print out of thin air, it's just pieces of paper with scribbling on it, right? But Babylonians are starting to see that their comfort, their security is crumbling, right? Like echoing what this man said, North Carolina is underwater. Some parts of Florida is flooded out. disease and sickness will start setting in. I was reading an article this morning that there's a concern of yellow jackets, bees. They're swarming in the damaged areas of North Carolina, Asheville, I believe it is, and there's no access to EpiPens, right? Scripture says, "I will strike Egypt with plagues as before." This is the Lord visiting this place, Job 20, right? And that clip there that we just watched, it was in the chat this morning. One of the brothers posted it, right? But the closer we get to the end of this thing, you're gonna see more and more. You're gonna see more and more people, in the spirit, in the vibration of unrest. Job 20 and 24. Job 20 and 23. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahshai shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him. Right? Fill his belly with what? This Edomite, these ruling class elites have an NWO agenda. Right? Right when he thinks he's about to have it complete and see hip the whole world, it says here, the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahshai shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he's eating. That's those missiles. Right? In the midst of his NWO. He shall flee from the iron weapon, the missiles, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn and cometh out of the body, right? That's the missile silos. Yeah, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him, the missiles. Right? When the missiles are flying and arcing in the air, and you get that alert, you have 30 minutes to seek shelter. It says here, terrors are upon him. Verse 26, all darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle, right? Them Edomites, right? They going the beginning with their elites. They're gonna hide in their bunkers, but that's not gonna save them. Right? It says here, it shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle, right? The first rounds, the first crops of slavery are going to begin with the ruling class elites of the Edomites. Right? They're going to be rounded up. Verse 27, this is the scripture I wanted. The heaven shall reveal his iniquity, right? And it's Edomites being exposed. These banking families, these ruling class elites, they're being exposed. Right, via the mouths of the prophets who are speaking the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And the earth shall rise up against them, right? So all people, listen, scripture says, they shall not regard their kings or princes. Right? Because these ruling class elites got to topple this thing in order to push forward this NWO, the C-HIP. Right? I don't know the scripture that I had put aside. I can't remember. But I bookmarked it. Sirach 26 and 28. And it reads, there be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry. A man of war that suffereth poverty, right? That man mentioned that veterans are homeless. Veterans are suffering. There's a lot of homeless veterans living in tents and suffering from poverty. And men of understanding that are not set by, and one that returneth from righteousness to sin, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai prepareth such an one for the sword, right? So you fall out of this truth and you go back into the world, man. You know what I mean? The Lord's preparing you for a sword, for destruction. Obadiah, let's close. All the men of thy confederacy have laid a wound under thee. Obadiah 1 and 7, it reads, all the men of thy Salakia. Let's read it again. Obadiah 1 and 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Right? And Babylon the Great, America the Great, they have allies. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread, right? So all these allied countries of America the Great, Babylon the Great, eating the bread being their aid. Billions of dollars are being shuttled out of America the Great, Babylon the Great, to the land of Israel, to the Ukraine. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Right. And scripture says, Revelation 17 and 16, thee shall hate the whore. Right. There's going to be members of the NATO EU nations that turn on America the Great, Babylon the Great. Revelation 17 and 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, the 10 horns be NATO, the EU, right? Thee shall hate the whore being America, America the Great, Babylon the Great, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, right? And how's that going to happen? The missiles, right? This is the swan song for America the Great, Babylon the Great. Right, these elites are pulling, just like when a corporation goes bankrupt, they liquidate and they file Chapter 11 bankruptcy. These elites are liquidating America the Great, Babylon the Great. They're done with the whore, right? But they're imagining a vain thing. Scripture say, "Why do the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing?" Roughly paraphrasing, right? Because the next kingdom to come is the kingdom of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, on earth as it is in heaven. So with that, call Allah Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great Muslim who teach one rule well. Shalom to the hopeful elect.